Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Plan Your Greatness, and I am your gracious host, Carlton Hamilton. And let's get started. Today, we are on Volume 9, Chapter 3 of, let me show you the book. It is How to Plan Your Greatness. You can get this on Amazon, along with a couple of the other books I'm not gonna show at the moment. But yes, this is Volume 9, Chapter 3 of How to Plan Your Greatness. Yes, you can get this on Amazon. I will repeat this as I do on all of them. There are some grammatical errors in that. I'm actually going over it and editing it, getting it prepared, because this book is going to be used in some school systems. Yes. And this is going to be utilized in the Department of Corrections out here in Arizona. And then after that, it's going to be in some other states. It's a good tool because, yes, if you've been following me, this is my journey. I actually did spend some time incarcerated, but I used that time wisely. There were some very powerful things that I learned from that experience. So getting that book back into the juvenile system and the adult system, I think it's very important. It's valuable. It has some life lessons in it, and I'm in the midst of some talks with the Department of Corrections, juvenile and adult, as far as getting this in there and actually being able to come in there and speak to bring the book to life. So that's what I'm doing with this thing, and I'm excited about that, and I'll give you updates as we get closer and get that thing coming along. All right, so this is chapter Volume 9, Chapter 3. Let me see. Here's the title of it right here. What is this? This is What, Why, and Your Imagination. Now, why this is so important is because I believe that because those are actually the three questions that this book is centered around. And I'm going to try to move through this quickly because there's a lot of information in there and I can get really bogged down on telling stories and everything. But I want to get through this quickly. I believe every successful person has asked themselves and answered these three questions. What do I want? Why do I want it? And can I see it in my imagination before it appears in the real world? And I also believe in this order, it is those things coming into the real world for my mind. I believe it's this. It is our intention. It is our desire. It is our intensity and our belief. When those things are present, then we bring into existence what it is that we're looking for. Let me just hit on that real quickly. Our intention, our desire, our intensity, and our belief. Those things bring whatever it is that we want. Why do we want it? And when we can imagine it in our mind, our intention, our desire, our intensity, and our belief brings it into existence. Because I'm a firm believer that when we put these ideas in our minds, they never die. It's like I think it is the law of thermodynamics, where it says energy can never be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred. If you understand that, that means that energy is all around us. It's everywhere. It's a matter of how we can point it in the direction that is best suited for us. And that brings me to a story, and I'm gonna try to get through this as quick as possible. I call this the Mitchell Report. This is in the book. This has to do with me being in my junior year in high school, and the junior year in high school at my particular school, the second semester, you're taking health class. You're not in gym. You're taking health education. And the way that our classroom was set up, I was sitting next to this kid by the name of Mitchell Krennick, known for being one of the smartest kids in our school. And I believe when we graduated, he was the valedictorian. He was like co-valedictorian. And I tell this story because this is very important. Mitchell came into the class one day, and I saw this look on his face, and I asked him, I said, "Why are you looking the way you're looking?" I'm thinking white, Jewish. I think he's got it made. And he said, you know, I got a 31 on the ACT. He said, I want to retake this test because I want to get a perfect score, because I want to be able to go to any school that I want to, because I want to be a doctor. And I didn't doubt anything that he said, because his track record was he was one of the smartest kids in the school. But me just being confident in what I knew that I was confident in was playing athletics. And I said to Mitch, I said, Mitch, well, you know what? I'm going to be a professional baseball player. And this is our junior year in high school. I may have told this story, but I will probably end up telling it later on, is that I ended up getting kicked off the baseball team. Okay, that's a whole nother story. My junior year, I got kicked off. So when it came time for me getting back on the team for my senior year, there was a whole process going on there. So I ended up getting put back on the team, and I have this phenomenal summer going into my senior year where I get put on the map. I become one of the top baseball players around, and we go on. Mitchell is our class valedictorian, and then we go our separate ways. I end up getting bigger and stronger, and I get drafted. Now I'm a professional baseball player. Okay, I don't know where he is, but here's what's the twist in the story. As I shoot through the Cubs organization and I become one of the top prospects, but I get hurt. Now I'm back in Chicago at Northwestern Memorial Hospital, and they're examining my arm. I'm about to go in for my second surgery. So I'm sitting there, and as they're talking to the interns, I look over to my right and I go, Mitch? And this is the first thing he said. So you're a professional baseball player. And I said, so you're a doctor. I love telling that story because, let's go back to the beginning. If you know what you want, you know why you want it, and you have this image in your mind, what brings it to light is what I'm going to repeat to you again. Your intention, your desire, your intensity, and your belief. Those ideas never die. They just go off other places if you don't take the action. But because Mitchell and I both made that declaration, we brought that thing into existence. Now, and look at our situations. Mitch, white, Jewish, wealthy kid. Me, black. I wasn't poor, but I came from a lower middle class area. But we end up meeting the same end. We actually got to our destination. How did we do that? Guarantee, as clear as I had it in my head that I was going to be a professional athlete, Mitchell had it as clear in his head that he was going to be a doctor. Now, the journey to greatness, it requires that intensity, that intention, that desire, and that belief. Okay? I believe, as I said earlier in this book, that I have what is called the 3 truths. And I believe you have to get to or ask yourself those questions early. The 3 truths is, I believe parents have the most important job in the world. I believe you should ask yourself the 3 truths as soon as possible. And I believe if you have to make a decision and everything is equal, always err on the side of the emotional side of it, because you never want to be regretful that you didn't take that emotional, because logic decisions are easy. Emotional ones are the difficult ones. Always err on the side of the emotions. But you see, number 2 is ask yourself the 3 truths as early as possible. Why? Because the earlier that you ask yourself, what do you want? Why do you want it? And can you see it in your mind as early as possible? You start going down that path, and I believe the universe starts moving things in your path that you need to use and out of your path that are obstructions. I firmly believe that. And so the last part that I talk about, there's other things I talk about, but the last and the most important thing that I talk about in this book is acceptance. In this chapter is acceptance. I accepted my role where I was in prison, that I had made some mistakes, that I got myself into this position. And I said, okay, you're here. What are you going to do with this opportunity? Some people don't see that as an opportunity, but it was an opportunity. I said, what are you going to do? And I started formulating this plan of action, this thought process, and all those things began to create what I ended up doing and preparing myself for getting out and doing all the things that I've done right now. And absolutely, You got to know what you want. You got to know why you want it. You got to create this intention, this desire, this intensity, and this belief in what it is that you're going after. And if you start that process, you are absolutely 100% planning your greatness. All right? I'm going to leave you with what I leave you with every day that I'm on here. And this is plan your greatness. You know why? Because no one else will. I will see you all next time.